just because someone comes across that with big words and big tech and big details, is it someone that you can relate to? I want to be able to work with my own coaches and my own advisors, with people that have common interests with me. And we're not here to try to compete who's smarter, who's not. Hello, and welcome to another episode, Dollars and Data. Today, we're going to talk about an exciting way to dominate and actually future-proof your business. But first, it starts with really having a business advisor that understands the business strategy and the technology strategy. Is it possible to find a business advisor and a technology advisor in one person? Absolutely. Over the last 25 years, things have changed, and more business advisors had to become more tech advisors, but they're very difficult to find. So it's an exciting topic for me to share today on this particular episode of how to innovate and dominate your business using technology advisors to do that. My name's Coleman Smith. I have been in the business of technology for almost 30 years of my life. And it started out as being an advisor for Dun & Bradstreet, all the way up to owning my own technology companies over the last 25 years. So we're going to talk about how to really structure conversations with outside resources that help you grow your business. My goal for this episode is really for you to ask yourself questions. Do I need an advisor? What type of an advisor do I need? Some people call them coaches, some people call them advisors, some people call themselves partners, etc. All of those different types of people are absolutely the same person, but you will need to know how to ask questions. So there's 3 key points that we want to talk about today, and that's really finding the expert guidance for asking questions as a business owner to know which direction to go. Do they have a business understanding? Do they have a technical aptitude? Are they going to be able to put a strategy, a plan, and a go-to-market strategy? That's number 1. Streamlining the processes for efficiency. You got to streamline your internal controls, your business, so that it functions properly. And then number 2, you're going to build on the technology. And then number 3 is, once your infrastructure is safeguarded, we really need to understand your infrastructure. So when you're talking to an advisor, he's looking at it from the perspective of what you're missing, not what he wants to serve or sell or provide. What are you looking for as a business? How do we safeguard those assets of your business so that you can go work on your business, not in your business, and your team can make sure that the processes are really complete internal? So the 3 key components and topics: expert guidance, streamlining your operations for efficiency, and safeguarding it. So from a business perspective and a technology, they both coincide. So I want to talk about, the expert guidance. What's the difference between a business advisor and a technology advisor? So a business technology advisor, when I first started working as an advisor to businesses, small businesses to larger businesses, it was really about discovering information about operations, products, accounting, finance, shipping. What are those internal controls? How can we tighten those things up, right? So over the last 20, 25 years of understanding your business infrastructure, whether you're a brand new entrepreneur getting ready to start your business, or you're an experienced business person that's building your business. Either way, you really need to sit down and from time to time, you need to look at your business and making sure that you're on track. And you need to speak to advisors that can help you get there, right? What does an expert look like? A business advisor focuses on business strategy, planning, execution. Technology advisor focuses on planning, strategy, technology to get you where you want to go into the future. So over the last 25 years, I've seen us actually look at tools that automate our business And that's the key part, is making things that took days or weeks or months to get done and integrating tools that allow us to do things faster. If you're not looking at that component of those pieces, you're going to fall behind your competition because your competition are integrating a lot of these technologies. So how do we really decide on how to pick a business advisor, technology advisor? If I were you as a customer, the number one thing is, you kind of sit down and jot down notes and think about, one, where do you want to go? And number two is, what do you want to do? And number three, what type of technologies are you currently using in your business? So that'll kind of give you kind of a guideline as to what kind of assessment that you want to do when you talk to a business advisor. So the expertise is number one thing that you want to look for. In my opinion, the expertise is really the expert needs to want to know about your business and understand your business and your long-term goals and your objectives. If I understand that and you understand it, now you can set a plan for the future, future-proof where you're going to go, allow yourself to create budgets and timelines in order to complete those things. Number two, what you want to know is, what is the service of expertise? What have they done in the past? What can they do? How does it relate to your business? Very important. So make sure you ask that question. I would think that another would be the methodology and the approach. Do they take notes? Do they talk about their products and services? Are they trying to sell you something? Are they really truly interested in helping you achieve your goals? And what I've learned is asking questions, gathering information, and really the methodology, in my opinion, should be having a discovery call, talking about your products and services. Look at what systems you currently have in place. And I mean, it can go from A to Z. I mean, there's so many different things that you really could talk about. And that's why it's important for you to sit down and put down your goals and objectives with your team or yourself as an individual operator or owner of a business. Is just think about that. So when you sit down, you've got an approach to what you want to say and see if that matches or it's in line with what you want to do. I guess the main idea from an advisor, in my opinion, is, do you communicate? Do you get along with that customer? Are they talking over you? Do they talk around you? Do they talk too much tech? Are they really relatable from your perspective? Just because someone comes across that with big words and big tech and big details, is it someone that you can relate to? I want to be able to work with my own coaches and my own advisors, with people that have common interests with me. And we're not here to try to compete who's smarter, who's not. Our end game and our goal is to, here's where I am, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm going to go. Let's put our brains together and create a plan that's going to get us from here to there. And where is there? So a lot of times it could be just cleaning up the infrastructure so that it's smooth, things are running more efficiently, which is your accounting systems, your shipping departments, etc. Internally, are all those things working together. And we need to be able to storyboard those kind of things out, look at where the problems are, what are the pain points that you're currently having, and then we move on to the next thing and kind of build a plan as to how to execute that. So communication is a key. Number two part of communication is, do they see your vision? Or do they have the expertise to see into the future of where you're going to go? Do they have the knowledge of the technologies that will help you get there? Or do they have the resources that will allow you to run your business, and you bring the resource? He becomes a trusted advisor to you, and he's guiding you in those particular directions. And last but not least is, we're always thinking technology advisors and consultants are going to charge a lot of money. Just ask up front, what are your services going to be? What are the fees? What are they going to cost? And they could be on a retainer. It's a lot. In some cases, it's much cheaper if you get on a retainer. Just hire that team of people externally. And if you're hiring people externally, that's going to make it really easy for you to add on multiple people under that same relationship. If they've got resources, they kind of bundle it together. It really depends on the size of your company. So to me, that goes back to number one, which is the expert guidance, right? So once you have found your expert, so to speak, or your business advisor, you really need now to ask the proper questions. Now the guidance, whether it be the business or the technology, and I'm going to spend more time on technology because of the infrastructure from just a business advisor, you're not going to be able to innovate or dominate if you don't have your infrastructure in place. That business infrastructure in place now allows us to look at what different technologies, and we're going to talk about some of the opportunities and how having a strategy or an advisor in place is going to really work, and streamlining those processes, right? Those guidance, when we sit down, and I'll use an example of one of our MLB stadiums. When we talk about technology advisors, and this doesn't have to be for just MLB or Major League Baseball stadiums or NFL or whatever. These technologies can be brought back down to a small level, thought through from how would we talk to an ownership group, a sponsorship group? How do we monetize? How do we actually establish, whether they've got TVs or Wi-Fi devices, sensors, mobile applications, all these types of technologies are used in large venues. Well, that takes planning. That takes strategy. That takes communication and collaboration. It takes a lot of mapping it out and future-proofing and laying out a long-term plan. No one, regardless how big a company is, they still need a plan. They need us to have a financing available in order to execute on all these different things. Once we understand that, streamlining the process, whether it be fan engagement, customer engagement, staff engagement, all of those technologies are what advisors really need to be talking about or speaking to you about with regards, what are you going to do for your business? So if you're a small business and you're needing to just have somebody to come in and to do an assessment, it would mean that they're taking notes, they're looking at what's existing, and then what are the applications, and then they look at what technologies are going to help you grow. And streamlining your processes could be a number of things. We just want to be more efficient. We need to get a product out to a customer. It's taking 20 steps to get something internally from order to shipping. We need to reduce that process. So with technologies, we can replace some of those types of technologies that's been manual over the last 5 to 10 years. Technology's caught up, or technology's advancing faster than we can keep up. You have to stay competitive, so you need a business advisor or technology advisor to look at how we can make those processes much more efficient. At the end of the day, it's not just about revenue. It's about purchasing the right products, creating the right processes, so that you can have a better outcome to keep your customers happy, which is customer support, customer management, as much as it is delivery times for getting that product or service out to the customer. And then third is really, how do we safeguard the business? Today with technology and the way that things are going and have evolved, you've got a lot of issues with just cybersecurity. Are you prepared for cybersecurity? Have you thought about cybersecurity? Even though you're a small business or starting a new company, cybersecurity threats are an issue to every business on the planet. People are breaking in and hacking. That's a different episode. We're not going to talk about that today, but that's just part of it. It's your accounting records, your customer records, your internal storage. Are all of those protected as a business? Just asking those questions of yourself about your company or your organization or how your people are using your emails. If you're not sure, or you guys are questioning, or those are pain points within your business, you should be asking or looking or seeking out a business advisor to help you with that. A technology advisor would be one of those two, or if you can find one of those two in the same, that would be fantastic. And there's many, many, many things that an advisor can be of assistance to you. I think part of it is how to engage business technology advisors is probably the scariest thing for most businesses. Where do I go? Do I search online? Do I call a friend of mine? Is it my daughter that comes in and says, hey, I can work on your your telephone or run your mobile apps, or maybe it's your son that's been a programmer. Don't do that. Find consultants and advisors that's going to grow your business. Don't think about the money. Think about the opportunity that you have by finding experts or references that's going to allow you to grow your business. I can honestly say over the last 30 years of building businesses, if it hadn't been for relationships and advisors and technology experts, I wouldn't know what I know today. And internally in our office, right now, currently, I'm running 3 different companies for the purpose of helping businesses really understand technology. And those 3 components actually help me safeguard my own business, and that we make those services available to customers as a business advisor first, and then we bring in the technical advisors to really help customers implement and future-proof their businesses. So some examples or case studies that I may use, and I've used them in the past, but cities come to us and they really talk to us about technology. And technology is where they want to go. And what happens in these conversations, and they're experts. They've been doing this for years and years, but they're really coming to us to look at how do they monetize the technology. And the first thing that I really sat down and I asked myself, I said, is their infrastructure, is their operations, are the internal infrastructure, are they ready really for this next generation of technologies? And believe it or not, cities are not advanced enough at this point to really understand how to use technology. Although it's the shiny new pennies, and we hear smart cars, we hear automatic apps. Just yesterday I went to a parking meter and I had to download a mobile app to pay a parking space. That's crazy. So things are moving fast, but it makes it easy for the customers to be able to track, right? So the cities, they have so many different things that are moving inside a city, whether it's municipalities, whether it's healthcare, it's emergency services, you name it. They've got the request for it and the need for technology. We are approached or asked, it's really sitting down and going through what's called a business assessment. What do you want to do first? What do you want to do second? What do you want to do third? What are you currently doing in gathering information about your business? So let's talk about what is your ultimate goal? Once we understand the foundation of your business, your business advisor is going to give you a good direction. Then you build a roadmap for each one of the technologies that you need. So that business advisor, if you will, he should be able to look at where you want to go and find bring in the providers that's going to help you accomplish those goals. You don't want to have one advisor. You need to make sure he has a resource and look at how that's going to work. So cities, those are really big. They have every possible technology need on the planet, but yet they still have legacy systems and old technologies and old processes that we have to go in and change. No different than you as a small business owner. Number 2, we go into stadiums, and stadiums are looking at us as how do we future-proof or bring in new technologies. I have one group of technology or business group inside a stadium, and they said, hey, cool, we're going to work with you guys on a long term, and we understand that you guys are providing these types of technologies right now. That could be Wi-Fi, that could be IPTV, it could be sensors, etc. One of the questions that they asked is said, hey, look, we want to be able to rely on you to bring additional technologies so that you become our expert in finding and looking out on our best interest. So we became a long-term technology advisor for some of the biggest stadiums in the country. And that's exciting to me because we now are a business partner, we're a technology partner, and we get that to shape and build the future with the stadiums that can be shared with other stadiums around the country. Small businesses that I've worked with that didn't have a business advisor, by the time they did come to us from a business wanting to know what to do, they were losing money. It was a small franchise, and the business owner had spent $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 on building the franchise, and he, The franchise has its books, it's got all its details, it's got everything in place, but he really didn't have much background in running a business. So we needed to step in and help that business owner put together his operational plan. Even though the franchisor had all the pieces in place, we could go in and spend more time and really develop a system to where he would get to the end game, which is generating revenue, paying his bills, making sure that he has the capability to buy another franchise. It started with working with the business owner and, what was his problems? Number one problem, he didn't have operational processes put in place. Number two, he didn't understand the operational process. And number three, he didn't know how to get to the point where he was making revenue. So we stepped in and we turned that business around. Within 6 months, it was profitable. And that was a major opportunity for me. And this had been a few years ago. And I can't tell you how grateful he was for us coming in and helping him. But if you find the right advisors, they can help grow your business. And that's what we want. So let's make technology fun. We all know there's blockchain, cryptocurrency, Internet of Things, 5G, future, etc. But what I'm asking you to do today is just look at bringing in someone that's going to help you grow your business, whether they be a business advisor, technology advisor. Ideally, going into the future, you need to find what's very limited right now is a business technology advisor. And with that being said, I hope this episode helps you to understand the importance of an advisor. And more than anything, it's going to help you dominate your industry. Build a roadmap, build a guideline that is, you're going to see the growth of the business change rapidly, very quickly when you have the right experts. Don't be afraid of advisors. Don't be intimidated by them. So if you have questions, leave comments below, send me an email at cole@greenzebra.net, or if you like, just send us a message or go to our website and check out the podcast. That's www.gz6g.com/podcast. It has been a great opportunity to share some of the insights that I've had over the last few years. Please send your comments. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day. Until the next episode, we'll talk soon.